Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to study about functions. So in the previous lecture itself, I have started about functions, right? But we have studied only the basics, that how to define, and some basic examples we have seen, that how to write programs in Python regarding function, right? Using function. Okay. So today we are going to study this particular part, right? Before this, whatever is discussed here, like about def keyword, then we need to write the function name, then parameters, right? And also about documentation string. About all these things we have already discussed. So in this lecture, we are going to study the next part, which says the execution of a function introduces a new symbol table used for the local variables, right? So I don't know if you're aware about symbol tables or not, but if you have studied about compilers, then you may be aware of symbol table, right? So basically it is what? So whenever any program we are running or any function we are calling, right? So inside that function, whatever local variables are there, right? Local variables means the variables which are local to that function, right? That means only that function, within that function only those variables can be called, not from outside, okay? So, like in this particular example, n, okay, and then a and b. So these are the local variables for this function fib, okay. So for all these variables, one table is made, that what is the variable name, okay, what is the value associated with that, and some more internal details are associated, okay. So these all the informations are stored in a table which is known as symbol table. Okay, so whenever any function we are executing, for that function, first of all, a new symbol table is made, first of all, okay, which is containing all the local variables of that function. All right. Now, more precisely, all variable assignments in a function store the value in the local symbol table, right? So any variable is there, what values are assigned to that. So all those assignment information is stored in that particular local symbol table, right? Whereas variable references first look in the local symbol table, then in the local symbol tables of enclosing function, then in the global symbol table, and finally in the table of built-in names, right? Now this particular sentence is very important in this paragraph and we need to understand it clearly, right? So what it is saying, that in the local symbol table the variable assignments are stored, right? As I said, that for this particular code, let us say a is having value 0, b is having 1, right? So this information will be stored in the local symbol table. But whenever variable reference is there, if you read it properly, the word here variable reference is used, right? So whereas variable reference first look in the symbol table, what is the meaning of that? Reference means whenever we are accessing the variable, right? Like for example, in the very next line, what we are checking the condition while a is less than n. So what is happening? A means what? Actually, I am referring to that value, right? So it is a variable reference. So I am referring to that value, okay? That where it is stored, what is the value, right? We need to access. So whenever we are accessing some variable, that is like your variable reference, right? So first of all, this value of this a will be looked for, right? That what is the value of a, then comparison will be done, right? So what is the value of a, where it will get. So for searching that table will help, okay? So it will search the value in the local symbol table. Clear? Okay. Now, by chance, let us say in this particular function, any variable a is not there. Okay, let us suppose that a is not there, or let us say here I am trying to access some other variable, maybe z, right? Now, z is not present in this particular function. Then what will happen? So then it will go to the outer function, okay, enclosing function. Maybe this fib is written, this function itself is written inside some other function, okay, that is also possible. Function nesting is possible, right? So in that outer function, it will search for z, right? Now if there the variable is present, right? So in that case, that particular symbol table will be checked, because for that function also some symbol table will be made, and from there the value will be accessed. But let us say if there also in that symbol table also z is not present, then it will go to the outer function, again. Okay, so like this it will keep on going till some function is there, and otherwise where it will reach finally the global scope, right, in the global space. So in the global space also it will search for the particular variable, let us say z, right. Now in the global space if it is present, then it will access that value, otherwise it will search for the built-in names, okay, as it is written here that okay, then in the global symbol table, and finally in the table of built-in names. So let us say in the global symbol table also it is not available, then it will search that with this name any built-in names are there or not. If it is there, then the value will be accessed, otherwise that means that particular variable is not present only in the program, and then we are going to get error. Okay, so this is how it works. I will show this practically, but before that, what else is written, that thus global variables and variables of enclosing functions cannot be directly assigned a value within a function. Okay, so that means one function is there, inside that function I am accessing some global variable, and in that I am trying to assign some value, so that is not going to happen. Okay, why? Because let us say again, if this code is there, now let us say outside of this function one variable is there which is z, which is the global, right. Now here if I am writing inside this function z is equal to 10, in that case in the local symbol table it will be considered as a local variable. This z will be considered as a local variable, and in that that assignment with the new variable, that new value will be stored. Okay, but that value will not be stored in the global variable, right, because it is accessing the local one. So this is how the things are going to happen now, but it is not completely impossible, you can do it, but in that case you have to use the global statement. Okay, so global, non-local, such kind of statements are there in Python. When you use that, then you are going to okay, then you will be able to assign some value within a function to the global variables. Okay, so about these things we will study later in this tutorial. Okay, not as of now, but if you're interested you can go to these links and study about this. So now this is the para, right, this is the entire thing about how global variables and local variables are accessed and how the symbol tables are made. So now let us see them practically. Okay, so from today I will be using this online GDB, right. Till now we have seen already that how to use the terminal, so you can continue with that, any problem is not there, but their editing is a problem, right, that you cannot go back to the lines and edit. So it is little bit easier here, we can do it very easily, so it is going to save time, and that is why I will use this particular site. Okay, so let us start. So let us define some function, that is def fun, and inside this let us say a is equal to 10, this is what I'm writing, and I'm going to print the value. So the value of a is, and I'm printing the value, right. So actually what will happen, if directly I run, you can run from this, right. So if directly I run, then here nothing will appear, right. Why? Because I am not calling this function, right, because it is a function, so I will have to call it, only then it will be executed. So you come out of this function and here you can call. So how to call it? Just write the name of the function, and if any parameter you are passing, then you can pass, otherwise you can just write it simply. So now again if you run, then here as you can see that the value of a is 10, this is printed, right. Okay, all right, now in this let us make some changes, right. If I remove this line, okay, if I let us say comment out this line, then what is going to happen? Now if I run, it is going to give me name error, right, that name a is not defined. Why? Because actually here in the local symbol table it is not able to see any a, right. Now when it is going outside also, any enclosing function is not there, because this is the only function, so an enclosing function is not there, and also any global variable is not there, right, and a is also not a built-in name. So after searching everywhere, when it is not able to find this variable, then finally it is saying that there is a name error and this value does not exist, it is not defined. Okay, but let us make a small change here. Okay, and here if I write a is equal to 20, so this line is still commented, nothing I have done as of such. Just in the global space, I have defined this variable a, which is having the value 20, and then I'm trying to print it inside the function. So now let us see that what will happen. So now you see the value of a is 20. This has been accessed. Okay, so what happened? First of all, it searched in the local symbol table, right? But in the local one, nothing was available, so it went outside. Okay, now when it went out, then here it got that yes, a is equal to 20, a variable has been defined, so it accessed that particular value. Okay, and that is why 20 is printed. Now let us say that this particular comment I'm removing and I am keeping it as a proper code in Python. Okay, so a is equal to 20 and inside the function a is 10, and now if I try to print it, now let us see what value will be printed. Okay, so as you can see here 10 is printed, right? Why? Because as in the documentation it was written that first of all it is going to search in the local symbol table. Now for this function in the local symbol table, what is written? A is written, right? That a value is what? It is 10. Okay, now when I am performing a variable reference here, right? Because I'm trying to access. So this reference will first of all search in the local symbol table. So in the local symbol table itself, it is able to find that there is a variable which is a and it is having the value 10. That is why it is accessing this value and printing it, and it is not going outside, right? Because it already got the variable, right? It got the definition. So when it got it, it will use that value. It will not go out and search for it anymore. Okay, now one more thing you have to notice from here, that let us say I wanted to change this value, right? Here a is equal to 20 in the global area, right? Now inside this function I want to make it 10, right? But I cannot do it. Okay, because a is equal to 10. Here when I am doing, it is considering it as a local variable. One new symbol table is made, and for that it is storing the value as 10. Okay, but in the global variable any change is not happening. Okay, because it is in the local variable only. In the global area, in the global variable, it is not going only, and that is why these changes will not be made. Now what is the proof of that? Proof you can see here. Okay, so print here I am printing, let us say global a is, okay, and here if I print a, then what is going to happen? Now if I run, you see the value of a is 10, right, which is inside the function. So inside the function for the local symbol table a is 10, so that value got accessed. But when I came out and in the global area, when I'm accessing this a, now this is not inside any function, right? So it will consider the global variable, the global value, right, which is 20 only. It did not change to 10, right? So this is what this particular line wanted to say. Okay, that global variables and variables of enclosing function, same thing will happen with enclosing function also, right? If in the outer function some variable you have taken, and that same variable you are writing inside local function also, right, in the inner function, and you are changing some value, but that value will remain in the local scope only. It will not be changed to the outer one. Okay, so that is what it is saying. Global variables and variables of enclosing function cannot be directly assigned a value. Like here I am directly trying to assign value 10, right? A is equal to 20, now you assign 10. Okay, so this directly we cannot do. We have to use global statement, global keyword we have to use. Now that how to do that I will be teaching in the upcoming lectures whenever that particular unit is there in the documentation. Okay, so like this you can try with all these things, right? And you can see that how when local values will be considered and when global values will be considered. Okay, so I'm ending this lecture here. Thank you.